Craig, you're going to be there next week.
Yeah.
What's got to change? What are they working on just now? This time last night, Barry Ferguson said they'll be working on the defence of the set pieces. It was unlike Rangers, wasn't it? They're a taller team, but there's ways to combat it.
No, well, I mean, look, they had a tough day, first day of the season against Newbley, Livingston. Teams that have been direct, and now we're talking set plays, and we're talking about even when PSV is as great as football that they do play, when they went forward and they were direct to De Jong, Rangers struggled with it. Maybe not winning that first duel, and then the flick on, and the wide players then not necessarily being wide but coming in and making good forward runs from the inside caused real problems. So that's something that I think that Rangers need to deal with a lot better. Set plays also. I mean, the zone defending. Look, people have got their take on it. I'm not a huge fan of a hybrid model, but space doesn't score goals. Players do.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a great believer in that as well, but I've got to look at the manager's point of view. Davis wasn't fit for the game. Ben Davis. So he wasn't fit for the game. So brings a little bit more height to them. I think Gio maybe have to change the shape and maybe go with three at the back for that particular reason. It's still not a defensive three in the respect that you're defending, because I think De Jong beats any of them in there. And the problem that Rangers was the next bit, because I thought there were spaces between the full-backs and the centre-back. I mean, you see Tavernier running out, trying to cut the pass out, and the boys done a fantastic reverse pass. I mean, it was bad defending, and John McLaughlin's had to make a great save.
Great save, wasn't it?
But that's sometimes when you can play with that three, that gives you that extra bit of cover. But for me, this time it would be height, because people say San's not the biggest. He isn't the biggest, so it was easy for De Jong. But he was going over to Golston and beating him in there and giving him a hard time. And that's why I think maybe that extra body there to keep you in the game, still having your attackers, because you can still have your attacking players up the pitch, but they have to do a defensive job for you. So it maybe be that 5-4-1 and breaking from there, but it also gives you that extra body. And some people think it's over the defensive. For me, I think you get more out of your attackers because you've got that more freedom.
Craig?
Yeah, and I just look, in possession, I think that Rangers, they need to be braver. In my opinion, because it's all well and good having good possession at the back and along, sideways. And then same, for periods, Rangers had good spells in the middle of the park. But I'd like to see a little bit more positivity, getting the ball forward, balls round corners, all of a sudden breaking lines, and then you start to get at a back four. And then I think you can start to hurt any team. And PSV, I've got to say, for all the European games and the run that Rangers have had, they've probably been the team that have handled it best. I don't think that at any stage Rangers really had PSV on the ropes. And when Rangers had that opportunity on the goalkeeper error, Wright has an opportunity and he's looking to cut things back. Test the goalkeeper. He's been rattled. He's just thrown one in.
Scottish weather as well. Scottish weather.
We said that last night. Why didn't they test the keeper more?
Listen, I'm sure the manager will be saying all that. There is absolutely no doubt of that. And as you say, you can still talk about systems. That you can still play Kent in a little bit. And whether it's Barisic on the left side, he can get him down the side of the pitch anyway, because that's his strength is going forward. I think, as I spoke about last week, I think Kent's sometimes too much out in the line, and people say then Barisic doesn't get forward, he doesn't get forward. Well, there's no space for him to go forward, and I think that would allow that. Let Kent and that come in and play, because you don't want to be overloaded in the middle of the pitch. And I think with good players, and then that gives you that pass when you've got possession. If you've got players like Kent who can receive it on that half turn in there, and then they can go and be direct. But if they're standing out in the touchline, full-backs are quite happy that they don't want to be dragged in and whatever. And I think it creates more space, and maybe that's something the manager will look at if he's got the opportunity to have another centre half.
And something that it's not new to Kent. I mean, it's exactly the way that he played under Gerrard. They're wide players. They weren't wide players. They were playing in the pitch, which allowed the fullbacks, both sides, to probably at most times be the most attacking players.